welcome to No Skips. This is a show where we talk about albums where you put it on and you don't skip any song. Today, we are talking about the album that came out in 2008, October 7th, 2008. I had to look at my phone for that one because I want to make sure I get it right. Rise Against, Appeal to Reason. Okay. Now, I got to tell you, Rise Against is a band for me that I am very fond of. And I actually heard about this band on the school bus, which is where a lot of my secular music kind of came from, was listening on the school bus. Because if you don't know, I was raised in a Christian household, so a lot of the music I was exposed to was Christian rock, which is pretty good, especially that stuff in the early 2000s and the 90s, which we'll get to at some point. But Rise Against was a band that I heard on the school bus on the way to school, and I couldn't get enough of them. And this was the album that did that for me. So that's why I'm calling it a No Skips album. It is about 49 minutes long. I'm going to round up 49 minutes long for this album. It is certainly worth the time. It spawned 3 singles, okay? 3 singles, and it's got 13 songs on it total, okay? But 3 singles that came off of this one, and those singles would be Re-Education Through Labor, Audience of One, and Savior. Now, let me talk about Savior first, all right? Because that was the first song I heard by Rise Against, and that is one of their biggest. In fact, when they do concerts, that is one that fans will wait around for to hear that one live, okay? If you're a Rise Against fan, back me up on that, okay? But Savior is a big song. I love that song. I have listened to it so much, though, that I'm not saying it's lost its flavor, but it's one that, I've listened to so much that I look at it and I go, that's a solid song, but it's not my favorite song off this album, if you get what I'm saying. So let me go to the 2 that are my favorites off this album. One of them is a single and one of them is not a single, but I do believe they did a music video for it, if I'm not mistaken. So the one that is a single is Audience of One. Now, this one hits differently for me the more that I get older. I'm 30 years old, which I'm still getting used to saying that. I don't know if you're anything like me, but I always don't feel the age I am, if you get what I'm saying. And I'm always like, I'm not 30, but I am 30. So anyway, this one hits differently for me as I get older, because I am somebody who has not given up on their dreams yet. I am somebody who, is out there being creative. I'm doing the things I want to do. I'm lucky enough to be able to do that, by the way, and I recognize that. But this song, when it talks about how, your friends who, used to be running in the same circles as you and running towards the same goals as you aren't there anymore, and they've kind of faded away, that feeling, kind of bottling up that feeling in a song. And like I said, that hits differently for me now. I've got a lot of great people around me, don't get me wrong, that are all running towards the same goal I'm running towards. And I'm meeting people all the time who have that same goal. But that original crew that I was hanging out with back in the mid 2000s, a lot of those people have given up. And I'm not saying that that's wrong or right. It's not my place to judge. A lot of those people are very happy with what they've moved on to. But I remember what their dreams used to be, if you get what I'm saying. So Audience of One, to me, has an entirely different meaning than the first time I heard it. Because the first time I heard it, I'm like, it's a good song. But now as I get older, it like gets better, the more that I age, if you get what I'm saying. And then the other song that I really love is Hero of War. Now, I thought that was a single by them, but I'm not seeing it as a single on their page. But it does have a music video, if I'm not mistaken, and I remember it being a big song. And that one is really, really cool to me. It's a song that is, if I remember correctly, about the military. And I say if I remember correctly because there's some songs back in the early 2000s, and I got to be careful how I say this because I don't want to inadvertently upset somebody. But there are a lot of songs from back in the early 2000s. This album came out in 2008, so mid 2000s. But there was a lot of songs that post 9/11 would get taken as military songs, even if they weren't military songs, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it kind of reminds me of, like, to hopefully get you where I'm thinking. It reminds me of the song Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree. You know, a lot of people will say that's a song about the military, about coming home. And if you still love me, tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. But if you actually look into the history of that song, it's actually about somebody coming home from prison. And then over the years, folks who were in the military kind of adopted that as their own song. You get what I'm saying? So if I remember correctly, this was a song that was written about soldiers. But if I'm wrong on that, again, I kind of feel like it was one of those that got adopted by a lot of military families, and I had a lot of military families around me at the time. So, but Hero of War, I mean, it sounds like it would be a military song, is a really good track. I know I gave you a lot of word salad there, but my point is it's a good track. You should listen to it. It's a kind of a deep song, in my opinion. But those four songs, you know, again, Re-Education Through Labor, Audience of One, Hero of War, and Savior. Those are ones that I will consistently go to on my playlist. And this album has no bad songs on it. This album also has Long Forgotten Sons, which we didn't mention. But Long Forgotten Sons is a great song as well. And it's not on this album, but I believe it's on the album prior, Paper Wings. Paper Wings is one of my favorite songs by Rise Against. And I'm actually trying to see right now where Paper Wings is on their discography because it's kind of bothering me that I don't see that on here. So, so bear with me for a second as I do that, because if I don't, it's going to bother me the rest of the night. But Paper Wings, Rise Against, I thought it was on this album, but it's not. Let me see here just real quick. I know this is what you tuned in for, right? Seeing me type on my phone. But let me get this here. Rise Against, Paper Wings. Okay, it was on the 2004 album. So not this one, but on the 2004 album it was. Check that song out too. It's a great song. So with all that being said, my friends, hey, the album that we talked about today was Appeal to Reason. Came out in 2008, in October of 2008. It is roughly 49 minutes long, and it is worth your time. Check it out. If you did not skip a song on it, let me know in the comments below. If you did, let me know what songs you skipped and what songs you really enjoyed from it as well. Like, comment, and subscribe on TikTok. Do the TikTok thing, my friends. And whatever you do, thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully this video gets to other Rise Against fans. You never know with the algorithm, right? But hey, until next time, be good to yourself, be good to others in that order. I'll see you soon.